I gotta be honest, you guys, I still have not seen Godzilla King of the Monsters, but that's okay. I'll catch it sometime when I have the time. It's just been very busy. But anyway, let's do King Ghidorah anyway. What is going on? Draw2 crew, Ramny here with a brand new drawing tutorial for you guys, and today we are going to be drawing King Ghidorah as he appears in Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now before we begin, you guys make sure to check out Dope Hope. He is the artist whose art I actually took a look at when I was looking for a reference photo for our King Ghidorah. So take a look at his awesome Instagram feed, yeah, down in the description below. Anyway, here we go. Before we start, be sure to read the description of this video. Down there, you'll find a list of my drawing tools, some tips to succeed in your drawing as you're following this tutorial, how to make tutorial suggestions if you have any, and best of all, a link to a free coloring page that is based on this tutorial. And having said all of that, grab your drawing tools, let's draw King Ghidorah. Alright you guys, let's go ahead and get started with our King Ghidorah tutorial. I've got my paper in landscape mode and we're going to be drawing him just from the neck up to the head times 3, because he's got 3 heads. We won't be doing full body because that's just way too much detail for the amount of time that I want for this tutorial. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is the neck. So I'm just going to figure out where the neck is going to go, and then we will draw the shape of the heads after that. So the first one is going to go up like that, and I'm not going to draw it straight up. Okay, so just keep that in mind. The second one is going to be right here, and I'm going to make that curve this way. Okay, and then I want to make sure that the width is the same, about similar, like that, and it does go a little bit thinner as you go up to the neck. Okay, and then this last one, it's going to go right here, and I'm purposely not making it symmetrical, so I'm bringing the head a little bit higher up, like so. I'm going to make it go like that, and again, same width. There you go. Now, you guys, the reference photo I have for this drawing is down in the description, so do check that out. It's done by an artist who does a lot of stuff on ZBrush, and he's a great concept artist, so check that out, the reference photo down below, as well as the link to that artist's Instagram, where he does have a lot of his art. And yeah, I'm just like super jealous of his talent. He's very, very good. There are a lot of people that are way more talented than I am, and I'm more than happy to admit that. Anyway, I've got these 3 necks going up now, and what we're going to do now is figure out where the heads are going to go. Okay, so the width of the head is going to be a little bit bigger than the width of the neck. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to draw the chin right around here. Okay, so that's the chin, and then I'm going to draw it flare out. I'm going to draw a bit of a square right here. That's where the snout is going to be. Okay, and then imagine the snout sort of going upwards. Okay, and then draw another line going across. And then imagine this sort of goes like that. Okay, so that's sort of like the base of our King Ghidorah face, the one in the center anyway. So just have this go like this, and then we'll figure out the rest of the horns that go on this side here, and then just the top. I'm going to draw a line going across like that. So that's going to be the first head. Doesn't look like anything now, but do try to create this T shape with these triangles out here on the side like that. Okay, I'm going to draw a line like that now, and a line like that, so we know where the mouth is in the center. Okay, so there's the first head. Now the second head is going to be obviously looking this way. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to take this turn. I'm going to bring it so that it's a bit of a sharp turn going this way. Okay, so it goes up like that, goes down like this, and I'm going to draw a straight line like so. Okay, this one is going to have his mouth open, and then kind of right here, I'm going to follow along about 2/3. If I divide this into 2/3, there's like this line that sort of goes straight like that. Okay, sorry, it goes like that. I'm going to draw that. Okay, and then here, the bottom of the mouth, and then it sort of just goes like that. Okay, so imagine this jaw going up, both of them going up. Actually, I'm going to make that even straighter. So you're creating essentially like this snout with its opening like this. Okay, so there's the snout there. Nose is going to go there. Okay, the eye is going to be right around here, so I'm going to draw that line for the eye. And then he's going to have like horns that come from the eye there, and then more horns that go like this. Okay, so I'm just going to draw something that looks like that. We'll fill that out later on again. So there's the second head right there. Let's actually have this one go from here to there so that you can see that he's got his mouth opening just like that. Now the neck themselves are fairly simple when it comes to just how to draw it, but if you want to add details to it, it's going to be a little bit more complicated, but it will add a nice pop, I guess you could call it, to the drawing. Now here I'm going to draw the head. Again, he's going to have his mouth kind of not as far wide open as this guy's, so just a little bit closed. I'm going to start with that 2/3 line, same as here. There you go. Okay, I'm going to draw the snout right there, and then the other snout is going to be, if I draw 2 lines going down from each side, it's going to be right here. Okay, I'm going to draw a triangle like that, and that's going to be the mouth. Okay, take this now and then go down and then up like that. Okay, this goes this way, bump here, it's going to be for the head, goes up, and then kind of make it go, this line go back to that line just like that, and then we're going to add some of the horns. Okay, here the eye is going to be right around here, and we're going to draw a horn kind of like coming out of that, just like that. There's another horn here, and then we'll do the rest of the horns later on. So there you go. Those are the bases for our Ghidorah heads. Now they're fairly basic right now, but if you guys get this, I think you're off to a good start. Now what I'm actually going to do, now that I look at this one, I kind of want his jaw to open even wider than I actually am drawing it. So I'm going to make it even more exaggerated. Okay, so I'm just going to lower it down just like that. Okay, make that rectangle here, and there you go. And then there you go, create that this triangle there. Okay, so there's our Ghidorah. Before we actually start drawing in the details, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to create like this cloud formation, kind of just at the base, so that it looks like he's peeking out of just a fog or some clouds and stuff like that. So I'm just going to create like these cloudscapes, this cloudscape just like that at the bottom, and they're more or less like cartoony clouds. Okay, there you go. So if you have that, it sort of frames your photo, and it looks like your monster isn't, it's not just decapitated, but it looks like it goes longer, it goes further down. Okay, and also I do want to make it seem like this guy is turning his head. So this right here, it's going to go like that, and then this goes like this. Okay, so it looks like this right here is like the side, and it's sort of going like that. So it looks like he's got his head turned. And I'll do something similar here as well. There you go. And this, I'm going to double up this line going down, and then this line as well. Okay, there you go. So now that we have our base, we can go ahead and zoom in and work on the details on the 3 faces. I'm going to grab myself a pencil, and in the meantime, you guys, do check out this commercial. Commercials are what keeps this channel alive, so please check it out, and we will be back shortly. Stay tuned. Alright guys, we're back, and I have zoomed in on that center face. We're going to start off with this one, and then we're going to work on those 2 sides after that. So first things first is we're going to figure out how to draw the nose, and the nose is going to be starting right here. Hope you guys already have this general shape. What I'm going to do is make 2 long slits, just like that. Kind of almost looks like a camel. Now that now that I picture a camel, I'm gonna change it. Okay, I'm gonna make it like this instead. I apologize. It just looked way too funny, and even now it still looks like a camel. I do apologize for that. Okay, I'm gonna make these diagonal like this, and then what we're going to do is gonna make this in the front look like that, and then I'm going to erase these sides, because what we're going to create is we're going to draw this snout, the nose part right here goes up. Okay, and this is where the eyes are going to go. So it just goes up like this, and then diagonal. And the eyes are going to be just tiny. Okay. And then the brow itself is going to make it look like he's angry. So there you have a little bit of a brow. And then you have this bridge of a nose. There's a little bit of texture. Now this drawing is going to be a lot of textures, so be very fluid with your pencil, and make sure you have some extra pencils lying around that's been sharpened. But yeah, there you go, there's the eye right there. Okay, we're going to shade in around it. And we're going to create this kind of like an eye socket right there, and then just wrinkles from that eye socket going down that. Like so. Okay, draw a lower lip, and then the chin, kind of a cleft chin, looks like that. Okay, so now let's draw this, what do you call this part right here? It's like the jaw, but it's like broad. Okay, and then we're gonna start from here. We're gonna make it go out this far and this far. I'm going to slightly erase these. Those were just our guidelines, but now we can kind of get an idea of what we want. And from the center of that, the eye socket, I'm going to start creating those spikes, those horns. Okay, it goes out. This one goes longer than this one here. So this one goes a little bit longer like this. Okay, it does a bit of a wave as you go, right? Narrow, getting wider as you reach the head. Okay, so it goes like that. And then from here now goes outward. And then this ridge right here is like, it looks like the side of a crab. Have you guys ever had crab? And you look at the crab shell, and you run your finger across the side of the crab shell, and it's this like really spiky, rough texture. That's what that looks like right here. So I'm just gonna create something that looks like that. Okay, and then there's another horn right here. A little, not so big, little tiny one. Okay, and then another one right here that's not so big. It goes across. There you go. Okay, here now I'm just gonna sort of create these lines that sort of make it look like he's got a snout that's elongated. Okay, and then rough texture around. If you guys got your pencils, make sure you just like draw just a whole bunch of these like textured lines. Okay, and the way that I'm going to texture the horns, and it's going to be like this throughout my drawing, is I'm gonna draw lines going back and forth, sort of creating that. It almost looks like a carrot. There you go. So there you go. And again, not a lot of smooth lines. Imagine like an actual monster's thick skin, right? Exoskeleton. Anyway, so there we go. We've got those sides, and they're pretty good. Now let's draw from the eye. You got the brow, just past the eye, and it starts to go up like this and like that. Okay, so you want to keep that in mind. Let me erase these lines here. Okay, and then the inside brow also goes up like that, and they become the base of the head, or of the horns. So it goes up, and then so it goes apart from each other, and then make their way up like that. So apart closer, and then apart again. And again, you don't have to make it perfectly symmetrical. It's just like a cow or a buffalo or a bull. Their horns are symmetrical, but if you look at it, there are some subtle differences where they're not quite the same, the left one and the right one. So feel free to do that. Again, I'm just creating the texture, going all the way down to the brow here. And it looks like he's got some spikes that go up. So there's a ridge right there. Okay, and then I'm going to draw the head like that, and then just a bunch of spikes going, just a bunch of triangles actually, just to simplify it. There you go, and then the ridge, I'm just going to add some texture to the ridge there. There you go. And then lastly, right here, let's close that off with another set of horns. This time, this set of horns is going to go, okay, imagine this one going this way and this way, right? It continues. And this one spikes out like that. Okay, and then down this way, and then makes its way down like that. Okay, add more texture to it. And then same thing here now. Actually, this one's going to be a little bit hidden. And it's a little bit smaller because of the forced perspective that we have. So there we go. Just goes like that. Okay, so there's our first head. Now let's zoom out and do the neck. And the neck, we're going to try to simplify it as much as possible. And we're just going to sort of make these ridges that curve downward and make them random. Don't make them too uniform. I mean, they're fairly uniform in distance, but also, you know, take into account that they're not all perfect. Like, think of how scales work in an actual little reptile. Is he a reptile? Well, he's not, because he's an alien, so would he be considered a reptile though? Anyway, so just a whole bunch of these lines. I'm just going to speed it up all the way till we reach. Actually, I'm going to change directions as we reach the bottom here. So it looks like you're looking at it from an angle, and it looks like he's bending. Okay, and then you have these sides right here, which are just like the ridges on the side of the neck here. Okay, and then when you draw the sides, add some texturing on the side, similar to how we did it on the horns. Just add some texturing, and when you draw the lines, make sure that you draw them not straight, kind of a little bit rough on both sides. Okay, and then just random, use your imagination here to create some texture. I'm just drawing some lines going left and right, just to give it that look of scales all the way down. So there you go. That's one head. 3 to go. Now for the neck, it's going to be similar on both on these two on the side here. All right. Zoom in. Now let's work on the one on the left. There you go. Okay, so we have the Ghidorah face, what it looks like facing front. We can add more detail to that. As a matter of fact, I probably will add more details when I start inking it. Okay, here this time let's kind of draw what he looks like on the side or to the side. So here we got the nose. The center of the nose is going to be right here, right? Okay, and then there's the nostril. One nostril, and then the other nostril is going to go like this, tinier than that one. Okay, the ridge of the nostril goes up like that, and goes forward and then down. Okay, there you go. You see his teeth. So I'm drawing these two lines here. That's going to be for the gums, and then his teeth are going to go up and down like this. And they're fairly small, so I'm just really going to just zigzag it just to cheat a little bit and make it and speed up that drawing teeth process. All right, so here's the nostril, and now here's the ridge of the nose here. Okay, and then you've got the eye ridge right there, and then you've got the eye right there. So imagine this is the center of the head there. And the center, I'm actually going to draw the spikes going up along the top. And then more ridge here. Some darkness around the eyes. Okay, and then I'm going to erase these lines here just to, we're going to clean it up a little bit. Okay, so you got the ridge now, you got the top ridge. Now you want to make sure that this right here and this are, it's like the eye, it's the eye, right? Like the brow. Okay, there. And now the bottom, if I erase these two lines, that was just a way for me to align the top and the bottom jaw. Okay, looks like that. This goes fairly up like this. Now we're going to reshape the mouth a bit. This one kind of goes straight and then starts to spike up, so it looks like he's got a bit of a smile going on. There you go. But right here, you actually want to raise this up just before you reach the eye. It just sort of gives it a snarl. And then you can have some wrinkles going along there. And then just this texture going up. Oh yeah, let's add some texture right here. And then the teeth. The teeth are fairly, what do you call it? Uniform. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, so here you have the gums. It goes up and actually goes up there. Okay, and then on this side, you bring that way, so it looks like it's the other side of the mouth here, but you do have a tongue, and the tongue sort of goes, is it, I can't tell from the picture, but I think it is, it's like a snake-like tongue with two, it's like a forked tongue, that's what it is. So there you go, there's our Ghidorah forked tongue there. Add some teeth here at the bottom if you have the space. Make it go. There you go. Okay. Now this sort of goes, like the actual jaw itself kind of looks like that. But then you have this ridge. Okay, and then the ridge, you see this point right here, that's the tip. The ridge kind of goes that way. Okay, so again, you got that spiky crab shell texture. Streamlining it a bit so it doesn't look like he's got a huge jaw. Okay, he does have some, actually it does have some spikes going this way underneath his neck there. And then you have like this scaly look that's just all rampant here. And I'm just going to kind of create that scaly look with just some cross-hatching. And cross-hatching is basically just drawing some lines and then drawing some lines going opposite. So you could do that just to show the scaly Ghidorah look. Okay, there you go. Now let's work on the horns, and then you've got this ridge here by the eye. It goes up and it sort of goes like that. Okay, so it points outward. But it ends right here, sort of a little bit further from his eye. Okay, gets narrower as you go up. Okay, and then this one goes a little bit further than this. And there you go, looks like that. Okay, goes like this. Actually, this one goes all the way to the, sort of becomes like that bone there. So what I would change, so I would actually make these two evenly sized. There you go, and then again, just create that texture of bone. I'm actually even going to create some ridges inside. There you go, so it looks like just multiple bones fusing into one. Okay, and then you got another bone here, By bone, I mean a horn. Actually, it just goes like that. Okay. And then 2 more in the back here. That one's smaller. And this one's the smallest of all of them. Okay, here you go. There's actually another horn right here, now that I look at the reference photo. There you go. And I'm not going to spend my time just adding the details, because I will add the details later on when I start inking. If I zoom out now, we can do the neck. And the neck is going to be similar to this one right here, where you have just these ridges that go across. Okay. And then as you reach here, I'm actually starting to go a little straight. And then change directions. So it starts to look like that. Okay, and then right here we got this ridge. And this is like scales. So, I mean, you could go in there if you want and draw these circular scales like this. Oval shaped, and they kind of just are randomly placed. So that's another way to create those scales there. But here in the back, you got some spikes. They get tinier and tinier, like that. Okay, so you see a little bit of the spikes here on the side. The tip of those spikes is black. Okay, there you go, and then just add more of those details as you go up. And there we have it. Now, when you draw this, you want to make sure that it's not like a smooth surface, any of these scales. Okay, so there's that zooming out. That's what that looks like. Now we're down to one more head. I'm gonna grab myself another pencil, and yeah, let's get to work on that. So that's what it looks like right now. Zooming in. All right, and it's going to be very similar to the one on the left side, this one right here. And we're going to start off with the nose. Here's the center, and I'm going to make that nose flare out. Like that and like that. Okay, nostrils there. And then you got the nose bit sort of covering the nostrils, going upward and then down like that. Okay, here you got the snout going like this. And then this one going that way. And then here you got the eye right here, just above, kind of where this smile goes, or where this mouth kind of goes, ends up. Okay, so you got the eye there. Now let's draw the bridge for the eye. And here's the center of that ridge. Sort of creating this. There you go. That's what I wanted to do. There's that bump there. Around the eye, you want to create those wrinkles. And then the center. Again, there you go. So the center here works its way back like that. So okay, and then spikes. Like that. Now it's okay to make these different than each other. If you feel like they're not, excuse me, my voice. If you feel like they're not looking like each other, that's fine. There's like subtle differences that make them different. They're not, these three are not completely identical. Anyway, so let's go over here now. Goes like that. And this sort of creates like this crocodile wave right here, and then you see the gums underneath like that. So right now he's got no teeth. Looks like a grandpa dragon. Okay, there you go. Actually, this goes further back. hard to see actually on the reference photo. It goes further back like this, and it goes straight, curved down to there. Let's draw the chin. There you go. Okay, gums. The gums, they go this way, and then they go up like this. Okay, there you go. So there's Grandpa, who ain't got no teeth. It goes out this way, and then right here, let me erase that line here, because what I want to do, I'm gonna go a little bit further out this way. Excuse me, I just had a big dinner. Anyway, it looks like that. Okay, flares out, and then also flares out like this. So imagine just the jaw being this huge. Okay, so now let's draw the hooked tongue. That are a little bit more easier to see here, so it looks like that. And then another spiky bit there. It goes from the top. Actually, just draw a line like this, shade the top. There you go. Make that a little bit better. We'll fix it later. Okay, so now let's draw the teeth. And the teeth are going to be that. 2 sharp ones, and then a bunch of zigzaggy ones that go around them. Same thing here. 1, 2 sharp ones. Zigzag teeth. Okay, so make sure you draw it where the gums are. And I'm going to draw the teeth like that. And there comes a point where it kind of starts to disappear. So I'm not drawing the teeth all the way up. Okay. Spiky jaw on that side. Oh yeah, let's draw that line between the forked tongue here. Okay. And then here, let's desmoothen that line. Let's give him some ridges here. Okay, and then a tiny little horn there. Okay, and now let's draw those big horns. Okay, from the eye, goes out and goes up like that. Okay, and then another one goes more across, like that. Hopefully you guys have left enough space between these 3 heads. If not, I would put this head in front of this guy. Okay. There you go, and add more ridges here. And basically, you also kind of want to create a similar texture to the horn of an animal. There you go. Horn like that. And then a smaller one here goes across there. Okay, and then lastly, this horn that goes from this ridge outward, like so. Okay, and then just texture after texture, you can draw those circles to create the scales, or you could cross hatch, or do a combination of both, make it interesting. There you go. I could spend quite a while just adding texture to it, but it would be redundant because I am planning on adding some more texture a little bit later on when I start doing the inking. Okay, so there you go, you guys. There is our King Ghidorah. Now let's just add those neck textures here. Okay, you see how my curves are kind of, they're turning as you go. And then they go a little bit straight, and then I start to change direction a little bit. There you go. So add texture to the sides here, add texture here. You don't see the spikes really on this one either. And if you want to take it a step further, these have like tiny little bridges that go up and down like this. I probably won't go that far, maybe, with my inking. But yeah, that's an option for you guys to do if you guys wish. Okay, just shading the inside of the mouth there. Same thing here. And I think we're done. That is it, you guys. That is our Ghidorah from the Godzilla King of the Monsters movie, which I have not seen yet. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. And that is all the time that we have for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way to the very end. I hope you guys are very proud of your drawings. If you are, I would love to see them, so please head on over to the Google Plus community and to Instagram and post your artwork there and tag me so that I can see it as well. If you guys are ever curious about the equipment that I use to make my videos or to do my tutorials, I have a link to those in the description below, so be sure to check that out. If you feel like being extra generous, I have links in the description on different ways that you can help support this channel. Your contributions go a long way in ensuring that I can make content like this for free for you guys, so I appreciate your consideration. If you guys did enjoy this tutorial, it would help me a great deal if you, number one, liked this video, commented down below, and most especially if you shared this with your friends in your social media. And of course, speaking of social media, don't forget you guys can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google+, and of course on my website, draw2.com, where you can download a free coloring page of the tutorial that's here on this video. Again, you guys, all of the links to all of those are in the description, so be sure to read it. Finally, thank you once again for watching. I will see you guys next time, and don't forget, stay tuned for more so you can learn to draw too. Take care.